From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, November the 17th, 2017. A Palestinian teenager deliberately drove his vehicle into two Israelis in the West Bank today and then tried to stab Israeli soldiers. The incident took place outside of the Jewish settlement of Efrat, where a terrorist rammed his car into a 70-year-old man, lightly injuring him, and then drove further down the road and ran over a 35-year-old man who was seriously injured. The driver, said to be 17 years old, then got out of his vehicle with a knife and tried to stab IDF soldiers at the scene. But the troops were able to fire and stop the terrorist, who was critically injured and taken to the hospital, as were the victims. The U.S. House of Representatives unanimously passed a resolution this week honoring the 100th anniversary of the Balfour Declaration and, quote, recognizing the deep and abiding friendship between the United States and Israel. The resolution was adopted while the American Zionist movement convened its national conference in Washington in honor of the declaration this week. The AZM had advocated for the resolution, and its president, Richard Heidman, said that the House delivered a clarion call of united American support for Israel on this momentous anniversary. The lower house of Argentina's parliament voted almost unanimously last week in favor of creating a national day to commemorate the deadly 1992 bombing of the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires. If confirmed by the Senate, March the 17th will be known as a day of memory and solidarity with the victims of the terror attack on the Israeli embassy in the country. And schools nationwide in Argentina will mark the event and discuss the implications of international terrorism. Also, according to Israeli diplomats in Buenos Aires, educational activities would state that Iran and its Lebanese proxy Hezbollah were responsible for the attack. Director General of Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Yuval Rotem, said the vote last week shows true commitment to the fight against terrorism. The Senate vote will likely only take place in May of next year. 3 Holocaust survivors of note passed away this week. Franz Krachberg was one of Brazil's most acclaimed sculptors and environmentalists. Born in Poland, he was the only member of his family to survive the Holocaust. He was most known for the sculptures he created from tree trunks and roots burned by wildfires. He died Wednesday at the age of 96. Rabbi Giuseppe Lara served as the chief rabbi of Milan and was president emeritus of the Italian Rabbinical Assembly. He died Wednesday as well at the age of 82. And on Tuesday, Israeli journalist, author Ruth Bondi passed away. Bondi, who survived Auschwitz, was known for her radio show in Israel, 3 in a Boat, and for her prolific translations of literature into Hebrew. She was 94. A permanent exhibition opened this week at the Jewish Historical Institute in Warsaw, Poland, sharing for the first time tens of thousands of documents found buried and hidden in the rubble of the Warsaw Ghetto. What we were unable to shout out to the world includes eyewitness accounts of the atrocities carried out by the Nazis, compiled and hidden by historian Emanuel Ringelblum and other Jews who lived in the ghetto. The archive also includes items such as ghetto ration cards. It is now open to the public. Polish President Andrzej Duda visited the exhibition on Tuesday and called the Ringelblum archive a priceless testament to the most tragic chapter in the common history of Jews and Polish people. And before heading back home from his trip to Los Angeles this week, Israel's President Reuven Rivlin was given a personal tour of the Simon Wiesenthal Center Museum of Tolerance in the city by the museum's founder and dean, Rabbi Marvin Heyer. While observing an exhibit dealing with contemporary crimes against humanity, Rivlin said, "When we say never again, we know how to defend ourselves. But when I say never again, we hope other nations who did not experience what we experienced will understand never again and stand up to such tyrants." And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, November the 17th at 6 o'clock. Live Shabbat services from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Israeli singer Ron Eliran in concert. At 8, it's episode 7 of A Touch Away. At 9, it's the film Hasidism and Mysticism. And at 10, former Israeli Knesset member Steph Wertheimer talks about his philosophy of life with Jane Eisner of The Forward. Then at 10:30, it's Musica with Israeli singer Carolina. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 5:30, Rabbi Shlomo Riskin looks at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, November the 17th, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.